Hello, SpeakCast English listeners, and welcome back to your daily English listening practice podcast. I'm Andrew, your expert teacher and host.
And I'm Emma, your co-host and fellow English learner. So happy to be back with all of you.
It's great to have you, Emma. Today we're tackling a really common challenge for B1 learners, and honestly, for native speakers too sometimes.
Oh, I know this feeling. Is it about asking someone to do something without feeling pushy? Like trying to make plans?
Exactly. How do you suggest a restaurant, set a time, or even handle it gracefully when someone says no without making them feel bad or sounding like you're demanding something? It's a delicate dance.
I've been there many times. I always worry I sound too direct or maybe too shy. I just want to sound natural.
And by the end of this episode, Emma and all of you listening will be able to confidently use 3 practical phrases to make plans smoothly and politely. You'll sound natural, friendly, and totally in control.
Ooh, I need that. I recently tried to invite a new colleague out for coffee, and I think I just blurted out, "You want coffee? Now?" It was so awkward.
Chuckles, a classic move. Emma, we've all been there. It's like when you're trying to figure out if someone wants to try that new Vietnamese coffee shop. You don't want to just say, "Let's go to that coffee shop."
Right. Because what if they don't like coffee? Or they're busy? Or they don't like Sam? My mind just races.
It's a tough nut to crack sometimes, isn't it? Especially when you're trying to communicate in a new language. You want to be clear, but also polite and flexible. So let's imagine you want to invite me for a coffee, Emma. How would you try to do it right now, based on your current English?
Okay, deep breath. Andrew, I was thinking maybe we should go for coffee sometime?
Good start. You've got the "I was thinking," which is a nice opener. But let's refine the suggestion part. Instead of "maybe we should go," which can still feel a bit hesitant or slightly indirect, we can use a super common and friendly phrase. How about? Or what about?
How about?
Yes. It's perfect for suggesting an idea, a time, or a place. It opens the door for discussion rather than just stating a plan. For example, how about we grab a coffee sometime this week?
Oh, that sounds much smoother. How about we grab a coffee sometime this week? I like that. It's an invitation, not a command.
Exactly. It implies you're open to their thoughts and availability. It's less pushy, so try it with me.
Okay. Andrew, how about we grab a coffee tomorrow afternoon?
Excellent. Much better. Now I might say, "Oh, tomorrow afternoon is a bit tight for me."
The dreaded no. This is where I usually panic. Do I just say, "Oh, okay then," and give up? Or do I press for another time?
This is the second key step. When someone can't make it, or if you suggest a time and you want to check if it works for them, you need a polite way to confirm. After you suggest something, you can add, "Does that work for you?" Or, "Does that sound good?"
Does that work for you?
Spot on. It's asking for their input, making them part of the decision. So if I say tomorrow afternoon is a bit tight, you could then say, "Oh, no worries. How about Wednesday morning instead? Does that work for you?"
Wow, that's so much more confident. So I suggested tomorrow afternoon. You said it was tight. Then I could say, "Okay, how about Wednesday morning? Does that work for you?" That keeps the conversation flowing.
Precisely. You're showing flexibility and respect for their schedule. Now let's say I really love coffee, especially a perfectly brewed pour-over, and I'm free Wednesday morning. I'd say, "Wednesday morning sounds great, Emma. Let's say 10 a.m. at the Daily Grind."
And then I'd say, "Yes, perfect. But what if I can't do Wednesday morning either? Or what if I don't like the Daily Grind?"
Excellent question. This brings us to the third crucial phrase. Let's say you can't make Wednesday morning. Instead of just saying no, which can sound abrupt, or "I can't," which doesn't offer a solution, you can say, "Oh, I'm afraid Wednesday morning is also a bit tricky for me." And then you can offer an alternative or ask them to suggest one.
A bit tricky. That's a good one. So if you had suggested Wednesday and I couldn't, I could say, "Oh, I'm afraid Wednesday morning is a bit tricky for me. How about Thursday afternoon instead?"
You're nailing it, Emma. Now what if after all this back and forth, it just isn't working out? Maybe I'm truly swamped, or you are. This is where the third phrase comes in handy. "No worries at all," or "That's totally fine."
No worries at all.
Yes, this is how you respond graciously when someone declines or when plans just can't be made. It makes the other person feel understood and not guilty. So, if I said, you know what, Emma, this week is just completely up in the air for me, I'm so sorry, you could respond with,
No worries at all, Andrew. We can definitely catch up another time.
perfect. That keeps the relationship friendly and open for future plans. It's much better than, oh, okay then, which can sound a little disappointed or even passive-aggressive.
You know, I actually prefer making plans by text or chat. I get so nervous making phone calls in English. My English feels a little rusty on the phone.
That's a very common feeling, Emma, and these phrases work just as well in a text message. The key is the politeness and the open-ended nature. It's all about getting on the same page without anyone feeling pressured.
Getting on the same page. I like that. So these 3 phrases really help with that.
Absolutely. They are your toolkit for smooth social interactions. Let's dive a little deeper into these 3 phrases now so you can really own them.
Yes, please. I'm ready to practice.
Our first phrase for suggesting an idea or time is how about or what about. These are interchangeable in most situations when you're suggesting something.
So like, how about pizza for dinner? Or what about meeting at 7 p.m.?
Exactly. They are friendly, flexible ways to propose an idea without sounding demanding. They invite discussion. A common mistake for Vietnamese learners is to say something like, should we go to dinner? Or do you want to go to dinner? While not wrong, how about is often softer and more inviting, especially if you're not super close with the person yet. It feels less like a direct question requiring a yes/no, and more like an open suggestion.
Ah, I see. Should we can feel a bit like you're waiting for permission, or can sound a bit strong. How about is more like an offering.
Precisely. Let's practice. I'll say an example sentence, and I want you to repeat it slowly, then at a natural speed. Our example is, how about we grab a coffee later?
Okay, slowly. How about we grab a coffee later?
Great, now. Natural speed.
How about we grab a coffee later?
Excellent pronunciation and rhythm. That's how you make it sound natural.
I can definitely use that.
Our second phrase is for checking if a suggestion works for the other person. Does that work for you? Or does that sound good?
Does that sound good too? It's friendly.
It is. These phrases are essential for confirming availability or agreement. They show that you value the other person's schedule and preferences. An example, I was thinking Friday evening. Does that work for you? A common mistake is to just say, is it okay? Or is it good? These are understandable, but does that work for you is more specific to availability and more commonly used in planning. It's polite and collaborative.
Is it okay? Sounds a bit simple now that I hear, does that work for you?
It's a nuance, but it makes a big difference in sounding natural. Let's try shadowing this one. Slowly first. Does 2 p.m. on Tuesday work for you?
Okay, does 2 p.m. on Tuesday work for you?
Great. Now, at a natural speed.
Does 2 p.m. on Tuesday work for you?
Fantastic. Notice how the intonation rises slightly at the end, making it a clear, polite question.
I hear it. That little rise makes it sound much more inviting.
Absolutely. And finally, for gracefully handling a refusal or when plans just don't align, no worries at all, or that's totally fine.
This one is so important for me. I always feel awkward when someone says no.
It's a very common feeling. These phrases are friendly ways to say no problem or it's okay when someone can't make it or has to cancel. An example, oh, you can't make it? No worries at all. We can find another time. A common mistake is to sound disappointed or even a little passive-aggressive, or to just say okay flatly. These phrases reassure the other person that there's no hard feeling and you're still open to making plans in the future.
So it's about maintaining a good relationship, even if the plan doesn't happen.
Exactly. It shows maturity and consideration. Let's shadow this one slowly. No worries at all. We'll catch up another time.
No worries at all. We'll catch up another time.
Perfect. Now, natural speed.
No worries at all, we'll catch up another time.
Beautiful, Emma. You've got the rhythm down. These 3 phrases, when used together, will make your planning conversations much smoother and more pleasant for everyone involved.
I feel so much more confident already. It's amazing how a few phrases can change the whole feeling of a conversation. It's not just about the words, but the intention behind them.
That's the aha moment right there, Emma. Politeness isn't about being weak or indirect. It's about effective, respectful communication that builds good relationships. And that's a skill everyone needs, in any language.
I love that. So to recap, we learned how about for suggesting. Does that work for you? For checking? And no worries at all for handling a no.
You've got it. Now for our listeners, we have a challenge for you. Think about a plan you want to make this week, maybe with a friend, a colleague, or even just planning your own schedule. Try to use one of these phrases.
And then please leave a comment below this video using your favorite phrase from today. We'd love to see how you're practicing. So if you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful, please like this video.
And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our daily English listening practice episodes.
Leave a comment with your favorite phrase from today.
Thank you for listening today. We hope this episode helped you practice real English. You've been listening to SpeakCast English. Thanks for practicing with us, and see you next time on SpeakCast English.